to the cross.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Upstate Golf Guys podcast, where 518 golfs the Cape. We hope you enjoy.
Welcome back to another episode of the Upstate Golf Guys podcast. We are finally fucking here. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Holy bananas, Batman.
It's been a fucking season, hasn't it, Mikey? It's
Yeah,
been a
it has.
season. Really has. So I have my co-host to my left, Mikey. What is going on, buddy?
We made it.
We made it here. And then across the screen, my other co-host just laughing and shaking his head. RGB, what is up, kid?
Buddy, I'm so glad you had Instagram Live running for the pre-show.
For the meltdown?
Yeah.
For the meltdown?
It's unbelievable. Yeah, but I'm glad you guys are down there enjoying yourselves. I'm surprised, Ant, you didn't get thrown out on the I-95 on the way down, to be perfectly honest with you.
Well, I didn't, because I have my man to my right that was getting us down there. I don't even know what to call him. He's got 18 different personalities so far since we've been here, but I'm just going to call him Thomas Mayone.
Yeah,
That's
Raj, here, how about this one? Pick a letter of the alphabet.
Hey.
There you go.
Allie Aces, she's had 19 hole-in-ones. She's been on tour about 6 years, and she's got a lot to say.
Allie Aces. All right.
Go ahead, pick another letter.
What the hell's L?
So you'd be thinking about Liam Layup. He's constantly not fucking going for the green too, even on par fours, because he's a little lame.
The whole ride down, guys.
The whole ride, bro. This guy is.
He's already got characters for every one of them, a whole backstory, the whole nine. He's like Roger on American Dad.
Oh,
unbelievable! This guy, I love him, and he got us down here and probably shaved. I have to say, I'm not going to incriminate the guy, but definitely shaved some time off.
Yeah, all I seen was pictures of you sleeping. Every time you get away from the house, you just sleep.
Yeah, I was snoring, bro.
Hold on, he drove for about 16 minutes this morning, then he had a headache. He was too. He was
I said reinforcements. Call him in.
34 minutes into the drive, he goes, dude, I think this sunrise is like really getting to me, man. I think I'm starting to get a migraine.
Well, I've had a headache all fucking day, and let's talk about that Advil that I had to pop right in the middle of Walmart because of that.
$41 for fucking a 200 pack.
So my man to my right was just like, just open that shit and just take your Advil, bro. Listen, you no need to wait right now. Just get into it. So I've had a headache all day since this morning, and man, it's been a ride. It's been, well, let's see. We went halfway yesterday to Virginia. That was about 8 hours down to Virginia, and then another 7 in, right?
Yeah, basically about 7.5 this morning, right?
But Tommy cut it down to about 5 this morning, the way he was going in and out. I mean, listen, I'm not going to. Mikey always tells you about the white knuckle story going down to New York City.
He's easy to get to white knuckle if anybody's ever driven with him.
Yeah, as soon as you get to about that triple digits on the mile per hour, I kind of start to get a little nervous. But this guy is more steady going 100 miles an hour than I am at 45. Let me tell you, Raj.
That was VR. You were watching VR.
I was watching VR. That wasn't real. Was that in my dreams?
Yeah.
Need for Speed. That was.
I'm not gonna lie though.
He was weaving in and out a couple times.
He
had to do a little dodge and weave.
I was asking Mikey. I said, "Is this normal? Is he okay?" But
Absolutely.
he's the way he said he describes it. Why don't you tell us how you just describe it? Things you see when it's faster speed. What
my heart rate goes down as the speed limit goes up.
Yeah. So I don't know if my listeners know about Thomas Mayone. He is a champ flight golfer. I don't know if he should be a champ flight golfer. What would you say you are?
D flight.
D flight for sure. All right, but not only is he listen, he is he's a champion flight golfer, but he's also a champion at hot rods. This guy, I did not know this about him because most people do not talk about it, but this dude, when I say protected us and served, fucking guy, I'm telling you, bro.
Tell him.
I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but this guy is fucking a hero. He's a hero.
We appreciate your service, man.
100%, bro.
If you ever played Call of Duty, you know me. I'm in there.
He's in there. He's a fucking maniac. But now I see him and I understand how he could go.
They base Call of Duty on MAYONE.
It's this fucking guy's he's a little bit of a maniac.
He gets a side piece.
I don't know how he does
it.
I've so far this trip in about 24 hours since Tom's been with us and tagged along, I've learned a lot. I have to say I've learned a lot on this trip. It's opened my eyes traveling with Thomas Mayone.
When he just said his heart rate would go down as the faster he would go, I was going to ask if he was like one of those Point Break guys with like extreme sports or something like that. But then what you said completely makes sense. So, yeah.
But when I was younger, so it was snowboarding, BMXing. Then it turned into anything with a motor. I bought my first car at 14 and I rebuilt it. It was a 240 SX. So they come with a KA 24D motor. And then in Japan, they come with a SR20D ET, which is just a 2.0 turbocharged as opposed to a 2.4 liter inline. And so when I bought that car, it was before everybody could get JDM everything and whatever else. So that was like my start in the car world. My buddy at the same age got a Nissan hardbody, and a Nissan hardbody is a pickup truck for those that don't know. But so he made it a convertible and then did a cut through. So he put a cab on the bed and then, welded it shut. And so you could go from it basically became like a van, but it was a pickup truck. So he was cutting cars apart and putting them back together, and I was trying to make them fast. So he was low and slow was his nickname, and I was anything to get you in trouble. So in Kingston, we used to have a large traffic circle. These guys were on the new traffic circle to come pick me up to come down here. It's a more of a what you guys would be considered a traditional traffic circle up in the capital region. But when I was growing up, there was like probably like a quarter mile traffic circle when you got off the thruway. So you have the thruway, 28 Washington Avenue, and then what we call Colonel Chandler Drive, but it's Interstate 587. It's not really an interstate. It's I think the 7th shortest interstate in the country because it's no longer an interstate, but that's neither here nor there. So this thing's like a quarter mile from one side to the other. And when I was in high school, I used to drift it. I would drift around the entire thing. So after I built that car with the turbo, I drifted that traffic circle about 4 times, and somebody had called the cops on me. And when I look to my immediate right would have been the thruway, which is New York Interstate 87. There's 2 state troopers waiting for me to get off of the traffic circle and go towards the thruway. When I look up 28, there's the Ulster County Sheriff's Department. There's 2 sheriffs up that road. When I look down Washington Avenue, there are 2 cops from the City of Kingston Police Department. And then when I look up 587, there's 2 cops from the town of Ulster Police Department. So at the time, I thought that my dad had more pull with the state troopers. So when I was done drifting, I went like I was going to get on the thruway and pulled over right in front of the state troopers. And I was telling Anthony the story on the way down here. I said, it's one of the few times in my life that I've gotten pulled over, complimented on my driving, and then issued a ticket.
Fucking wild.
I love the logic that, all right, who do I know somebody with? Which way should I go here?
Right.
Do I go city, do I go county, or stadies? Well,
Right, that whole thought process while he's drifting.
while he's drifting. I love it. I love it.
At what age did you say?
I was 18.
18.
Now, Tom, do you take any of that high speed life to the golf course ever? Or do you slow it down?
Every
Or do you
single
slow it
time.
down? Or do you slow it down when you get to the golf course?
No, maybe when I'm putting, I pretend to be a Farina for a second. And I just like slow down. But, you know, I have 278, 240 over water. It's 278 to the pin. It's 256 to the front of the green. It's 240 to clear the hazard. And I got a small breeze in my face. I'm hitting a 3-iron or choking down on a 4-wood and going balls to the wall because I'm in it for the glory. Like I want to win tournaments, but I also want to win skins. And I also want the person that played golf with me that day that has never played with me before to remember that they
That
played golf
fucking
with,
shot.
or just me in general.
That's
like,
a Bert
Yep.
Kreischer moment.
yeah.
Yeah, that
Bert
guy was
Kreischer
fucking
does the
good,
same
man.
The
thing.
machine.
Yeah. Nobody's going to remember you if you laid up. Nobody's going to remember that guy.
No, because everybody makes a birdie on the
Nobody will
par 5, but
remember
nobody
that.
made an eagle.
Right. Nobody's going to remember you shot a 95 or a 98,
Shh, don't tell everybody my secret.
but they'll remember that one fucking shot that you fucking
Hell
Yeah.
you
Nutted.
pinned, you nutted, you
Let's
fucking
go.
got over the fucking hazard.
Let's go. So this is we're down in Hilton Head right now, and it's a little new to us. Tom's been down here a few times. Tom, tell me a little bit about the courses and what Mikey and I are going to be seeing tomorrow at Oyster Reef is the first one we're going to be going to.
So the biggest difference to start off with is the grass. When you play in, you know, upstate or the Northeast, you're dealing with a lot of bent Kentucky blue and Poana on the greens. Down here, you get a lot of Bermuda. So for those of you who have never played Bermuda grass is a lot like a bird's nest. So your ball, even in like a depressed lie, is sitting up because the turf is separated from the soil that's below it. So when you hit it, whereas like if you were playing bent grass fairways like you would see at Saratoga National or Wiltwick Country Club or the Ranch, when you hit down on that golf ball, the turf is providing your club with friction. And so you can generate backspin and you can feel the compression of the golf ball a lot better. When you play on Bermuda, if you do not strike the ball purely, it'll become apparent to you immediately. So much like you would hit a shot fat from the first cut in New York, that's what a typical shot's going to feel like for a C or D flighter down here until they get used to it. So my recommendation is always for people to go to the courses, get a couple practice rounds in, get adjusted to the turf. But the other thing is the easiest way that I can explain it for people who are never going to make it down here maybe is if you've ever played indoor golf and you're used to hitting off of the thick mat part where that they would considered fairway, and like you know, even if you sort of mishit it, the turf is giving you that resistance to give you a little bit of extra oomph to continue your club head and speed through the ball to give you distance and trajectory and stuff like that. Play it out of that the fake rough stuff that they normally have just past the tee. And then if you ever hit it fat out of there, it hurts your arms and the ball doesn't go anywhere, you're going to experience that. But this could be from the middle of the fairway tomorrow because there's a disconnect between where the turf
And the sod
connects.
exist.
That's good to know.
And so this is a ball first contact area. You have to make sure that you're hitting the ball first. So for people who have never played Bermuda grass before, what I typically suggest is that at least on your irons, you play a ball to 2 balls back in your stance, because most people believe that they're making ball first contact. But then if they were to like do a real assessment or watch video of their game, they would see that they're hitting the turf and the ball
then the
sort of
ball.
at the same time.
Right.
You
Gotcha.
can't do that here. You have to make sure that you hit the ball first and then your club's going into the ground. Because if you hit the ground and the ball at the same time, it's going to feel like a fat shot. You're going to lose yardage. It's going to have the opposite effect of spin. So, like, people believe they're going to be able to chase the ball up after that because they're like, well, if you chunk it, it'll inherently have topspin on it and then it'll release. But that's not the fact down here because, again, when that ball lands, it's landing on a surface that has a half of an inch of air between the soil and the actual top of the grass.
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. I know a lot of people are better on Bermuda grass.
We're talking.
Like Brian Gay, I think his name is actually. This comes into when I used to gamble a lot, and I used to do a lot of the daily fantasy for golf.
Mm-hmm.
This dude he's not anybody that you would know on tour.
He's a lefty, isn't he?
He might be, but I'll tell you what, I know him on the Bermuda grass. The dude is always up there in the top.
But so here's the thing: if you grew up on Bermuda grass, you can't even come play New York style courses because of the difference that
The
the
opposite
that's what it
effect.
is.
right.
So
That's
the
what it
opposite
is.
effect.
So the kid kills it on Bermuda grass, from what I remember, but he sucks on all these other courses.
So when you think about it, right, here's how I would explain it for somebody who's never played our types of fairways coming from Bermuda grass. For them hitting off of like a really good fairway in upstate New York, it'd be like hitting off of a cart path. That's what they would feel like, because there's no give. Like if it's a nice fall day and we've gotten a couple inches of rain or whatever, and you can take that really fat divot that looks like a cow's tongue or whatever, but like you hear that it's like flap, and then
it was
that
a bad
grass flies and whatever. That
won't happen here.
these guys don't have the wrists for it. Like somebody that grew up playing Florida golf or Caribbean golf on Bermuda grass doesn't know what it's like to take a divot that actually has
Resistance.
Like if you've ever picked up one of my divots,
Our
weigh
divots
like 4
have
or
way
5
more
pounds.
resistance to your
that
swing.
sod
than-
and that grass is tight. This stuff, you could be in the middle of the fairway with like not a plugged lie. It's not plugged. You know, you can see your ball mark, and the ball's 3 yards in front of it or 3 yards behind it, and it's sitting up on the grass, but it's not sitting up on the grass. It's down in the dirt, but it has a half an inch of grass around it
right.
in the middle of the fairway.
It's thick.
So it's just strange that you have this like spongy grass that you're trying to judge how the ball's going to come out of it.
Now, one course that comes to mind when you say spongy grass is Crumpet Fox.
Yeah.
A lot of
newer-
their fairways have that spongy.
on the newer stuff. Yeah. But I've played some of their fairways where it was the tight stuff that we're talking about.
Right.
But so like when we played Freer Park for the last 2 day,
That was Van Patten.
Ninth hole.
Van Patten.
You keep
The
mixing
ninth
that up.
hole has
Yeah.
a lot of.
There's fairways there that are, you know, ready to hit a real shot. Like me, I'm a spinner of the golf ball. I'm a digger, if that was like a name that they would give you when you go to get fit for your wedges and stuff like that. But so from like 60 yards, I can back a ball up. I could make it come back to me.
Yep.
That's not like the norm for most people, but that's because of my
Ball contact.
and how I approach the
Come
ball.
down
So
on
like I'm steep. So that came from playing our type of turf.
Right.
You bring that to down here. Well, I'm going to get a lot more spin because I'm hitting the ball first and there's no resistance.
Yep.
So the club's just working against that golf ball that's stationary.
And giving
And
it
so
that,
now instead of having
giving it that
8,500
cut,
or 10,000,
cutting it
I have
more.
14 or 18,000 RPMs of
Gotcha.
backspin. So I can hit a 20-yard chip that spins back. And that's why if you watch Tiger, like at Augusta, when Tiger's chipping, Tiger can hit a soft two-handed flop from 8 yards and make it spin back to him. Now, is he the greatest person to ever hit a golf ball? My opinion, yes. And he can flick his hands in just the right way or whatever. But you still shouldn't be able to back a ball up when you're hitting it from 20 feet. Like he hits it 20 feet and has it spin back 8 feet. He can do that. I don't know anyone else that's ever been able to do that.
That's hitting 1 million golf balls
Sure.
in one day.
Absolutely.
It's
But I mean, I
absolutely
think
insane.
I
The goat.
I
He's the
could give
goat.
you 1,000 golf balls, and if you got one of them to back up, you know,
I'd shit myself.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I had one that backed up on me on coming out of the sand trap one time.
By
And
accident.
right, by accident. I wish I knew how I did it. Clueless.
Right. But so that's solid contact. It's the way that the club's moving past the ball, and it's the way the ball's interfering with the club face and all that stuff. But that's the one thing when I've given a lesson in my lifetime, which I have to be asked, and I'm not a professional by any means, and it's just my opinion. But like the easiest thing that you could tell somebody starting out in this game is watch them take a practice swing. They'd make a good pass at the practice swing. Say, do the same thing. Just let the ball get in the way. Too many people, as soon as they address the ball becomes their target.
That's me.
The ball is not your target. Your target's your target. The ball is the thing that gets in the way of your hands and the target. So if you make a good pass at the golf ball before you try to hit the golf ball, go do this same thing, but don't think about the ball.
No.
Because the ball is like a focal point for you to be able to look down and have something to look at, but it is by no means a target. And that's when you see the people that are getting extra handsy, they're throwing their hands at the golf ball, because in all other ball sports, that's what you do, right? Somebody throws you a football and the football's up here. What do? You move your hand to the football because you have to catch the football. But that's because you're the intended target for the football,
Right.
and the other person missed the target.
Right.
If he hit the target right here, you wouldn't move your hands. No, they'd be right here. So when you're looking down at that golf ball, that's why people can play golf blindfolded or blind. And they do it better than some people who can see, because the people who can see let that little white thing distract their mind.
Way.
But
It does me a lot.
You look at a 150-yard flag, right? And then let's say that you were really that good. So you know it's 150 yards. And you have an 8-iron. 8-iron is your 150-yard club. So now there's no wind. There's no elevation change. There's no barometric pressure that's coming into play or whatever. You're hitting a 150-yard shot. So you step away from the ball. You make a great practice swing. You feel very comfortable over it.
Yep.
You address the golf ball. What gets in the way?
Chunk.
Your brain.
Your fucking brain.
Absolutely.
So if you didn't, that's why I encourage some people.
That's what par threes do to me. That's why par threes are all my nemesis. As soon as I get over that ball, my brain gets in the way. And
so I encourage people to, after they're warm, to not even take a practice swing. Address the ball as if it was your practice swing. Don't do anything different than you would on your practice swing. Take your practice swing on the ball, and you'll be surprised at how different your game is, because they say that the most difficult part of the game that we love to play is the 6 inches between your ears.
Yep.
I don't have 6 inches between my ears, so it's even more difficult for me. Right. So I try to do the KISS method. Do you know what KISS is? No. Keep it simple, stupid.
Okay.
So that's me.
I did hear somebody say something like that.
Right. So the more simplistic that you can make the sport that we love to play, the better you'll be at the sport and the more fun you'll have. Because as a person who can get frustrated or agitated or any of the other words that end in ED that are not erectile dysfunction, I've experienced all of those emotions. And
that's the most easily fixable one too, man.
Well, and for me, here's the thing that I don't like, right? So say you have a shitty day at work, or you know you're going to have a shitty day at work, so you can either get out before your shitty day at work, or you're getting out after a shitty day at work, and you're picking up one of your buddies, or you're going to go play golf by yourself. What's the last thing that you want to do when you get to the golf course? Be more agitated, right? Like you're going there to relax. So I would attribute it to, like, if you were a drinker and you said, all right, so it's happy hour and I'm going to go grab a cocktail because I had a shit day. You don't want to go grab a cocktail and have that cocktail make you more agitated.
Right.
So you don't go to the bar where it's going to take 30 minutes to get served, or where they're $30 and there's no alcohol in them or anything like that. You go to where you know you're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
And so that's what golf's supposed to be, especially for us that do it like on an amateur basis. So you just want to go out and have a good time. Stop complicating it. Just make it easy on yourself. Don't overthink anything. When you hit a bad shot, so another thing that I've done, obviously not on the tour, obviously, but like I've taken guys out who were new to the sport, and what I would do as maybe the better of the two of us or whatever, hit 2 tee shots, right? So let's say me and you were playing, Mike. You hit 2 tee shots, both of them go out of bounds, or one is in the water and one's in the rough, and I absolutely pipe one down the fairway. Now we're playing a best ball in this hole, Mike, and you're going to drop by me. Now you're going to get to hit from where I hit the ball too, and it picks up the pace of play. We're not holding up people behind us. You're getting more repetitions in, which is what you need.
Yeah.
And hopefully it doesn't agitate you, because, you'll probably shoot your best round, because the same thing will happen from the fairway, right? You hit 2 shots, but both of them suck. One's in the bunker and you topped one. So then come play for mine. So now you're putting from where I hit my ball. And then let's say that you need 2 putts at it. So now you have 2 putts. Your score is the score that you put the ball in the hole with, no matter how many times you hit the ball. You hit it from this many locations. So you hit your drive. You didn't play your drive. You played my drive. You hit your second shots, but you didn't use your second. You hit my second shot.
Right.
So then now you have 3 birdies on the card. You've never had a birdie in your life before. Not saying you haven't, but
in general,
you get the idea.
Yeah.
Now somebody who's not great at golf can go play with somebody that's good at golf, that can play at a pace that is fast enough to keep them in front of the people behind them, and they don't feel like shit.
Right.
Because I know how easy it is to get frustrated on a golf course.
Bryson DeChambeau says something like that, something along them lines.
Yep.
He said, play from the fucking from the Reds.
Right.
He said until you start scoring low scores from the Reds, then that will.
Yeah, he
will
basically
fall back.
wants everybody to be scratched from the Reds before they go to the yellows, before they go to
Right.
the whites. And there's some validity to that. But like, so his quest to break 50, right?
Yep.
I think if him and I played one of the local municipals in our area from the Reds, and it was him and I playing it, I really believe that it would be inevitable that we would break 50, like relatively easily. Now, that could be an oversimplification of things, because he's played with professional golfers, and he's played with long drive golfers, and he's played with YouTube celebrities, and he hasn't gotten it done yet. He's gotten 50, I think, 4 times.
It was with one of them was with Trump, right?
Yes.
What did they?
Yes,
got
they
50
shot
with
50.
Trump?
Yeah, at Trump's course though. So Trump's course from the Reds is still like 6,000 yards.
Right.
We play Schenectady Immunity from 4,000 or whatever.
Can we? I have to interrupt. I have to now, Tom.
Yeah.
Let's put politics aside.
Yeah.
Is Trump a good golfer?
He's the greatest president golfer we've ever had.
I would agree. Now there's video to prove it. I mean, some of his shots were fucking
I
outstanding.
mean, everybody tries to clown on him because he's got a weird backswing.
Yeah, and
on
he
his
comes
drive,
over the top.
but it works for him.
But here's the thing, right? So look at Jim Furyk.
Nope.
Jim Furyk's one of the few golfers that have a 59 that's carded on the PGA Tour. He has one of the most unorthodox swings on the PGA Tour ever. Plus, he has a double overlap. He has an 8-finger grip. He overlaps his pinky finger with his middle finger and his ring finger with his pointer finger. And then he does the loop-de-loop.
He has a really ugly swing.
Well, ugly or whatever.
I guess
Unorthodox. Call it unorthodox.
Yes, it works.
Right. So he's won many tournaments. He has a Hall of Fame career.
I love the guy. I like Jim Furyk.
That feels weird. Dude.
Yeah. I don't think it's interlock though. I think it's just overlap, not interlock. It's just overlap. But it's just like just like that. So it's like
just
some
like the
guys,
baseball players over the knob.
Yeah.
But so
That's awkward.
But so it's like you see guys, right? So like I have to think of the other. There's 3 gentlemen like this year alone. Some guy shot a 58, I think, this year, but it was on a par 70. So he shot 12 under. But that still means that 60% of the course he birdied, or he had a whole bunch of eagles, whatever it is. He was 12 under par on an 18-hole course. And he'll go down in history as the person that shot 58 on the PGA Tour.
No matter how it looked.
But what did he do the day after that? You know, people think it's so funny to watch a scratch golfer shoot 90. You know what I mean? Like you meet a guy and he's on A flight or champ flight or whatever, and you're like, oh man, this guy's going to be outstanding.
I think sometimes they make golf too easy for the PGA members.
I think it goes both ways. So
I think they should lose people spotting their ball and lose their caddy. Make them carry their clubs, just like every other average golfer.
Well, we get a cart.
Let's go.
First of all,
so the only thing that I would say to that is having somebody carry your clubs. I don't think that's the benefit of having that guy there. I think the benefit of having that guy there is having a
Clean
second
your ball.
Well, but having a second
Clean
set
your
of eyes
club.
on everything you're doing.
Yeah.
So you
it's a team.
I hit a pitching wedge 150 yards, which there's no real reason to hit a pitching wedge 150 yards. That's just how far I hit it. So I have a 48-degree pitching wedge bent to 49 degrees. I carry it 150 yards. Now, if you think about golf, if you're on a perfectly linear hole, it's whatever, it's completely flat and you're at 150 yards. Now I have the right number, but it's 3 yards uphill. I'm 7 yards to the right of the fairway.
that's that extra voice. It was going to tell you.
And so now
this.
I have 161 yards to the stick, but I'm going to hit a 150-yard club because I'm standing next to the 150-yard marker.
I know, but my whole point is we're striving to be like, it's an unrealistic goal for us. They got a caddy that's
but
they got pointers.
So you could look at it the other way, Mike. That's the problem. Is it should be the other way, really. It should be. We've gone over this. Should amateur golfers have a different rule book?
No.
Like, you don't think so, Tom?
No.
The bottom line is we don't get those spotters that Mike is talking about.
We don't get all these perks.
How is it fair that we hit a ball? We spoke about this on the way here. It's not fair for me that we all saw a ball that clearly bounced on the fairway twice and ended up in the rough. And we all know this happens. What the fuck happened to my ball? Like we drive around, we circle, we're looking for it. Nobody could find it. Whether it's in a hole or wherever it goes, it gets eaten by a fucking what's the character on Caddyshack? Stolen by a gopher or whatever the fuck it is.
So listen,
there's eyes out there for those pros that can put the flag down and they never have to look for that ball like we do.
So it helps them for sure when you're talking about tournament golf and all this other stuff.
Fuck yeah.
Those guys all did what we did do, though. You know what I mean? They grew up playing the same sport we played. They didn't start at 8 years old with a spotter. So they figured out a way to get the ball in the hole from a young age. Then they went and played tournament golf. And then they graduated to a level where they're spotters. And hopefully everybody who wants to can graduate to that level as well. If you make different rules for amateurs, you will have some clown going to the U.S. Open that think he can qualify for it. And it's happened twice in the last 2 years. Some guy goes to the U.S. Open qualifier and shoots 165.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing there?
Right. No,
well, because he had spotters and he played the green tees and he identifies as a werewolf. But fucking, you can't just change the rules to make it easier on amateurs. Now, here's what I would tell you, though.
I understand. You're right.
If you're playing with the right group, because golf is a gentleman's game. Okay. So if you're playing with the right group and everybody agrees, oh, Anthony's ball bounced here and then bounced here and then it went in the rough, you can come to a collective agreement that your ball should have been somewhere here. Now, either somebody picked it up or some strange phenomenon happened or whatever, but you just put a ball and play there. Now, that's a gentleman's agreement and it's a gentleman's game.
Right. Why
you can't do that for, say, the Am Tour is because once you start introducing that as something that people can agree to, people will take advantage of it.
Right. People take it too far.
And you have to protect the field. And I don't know how many times you watch the tour, but you'll see tour players call penalties on themselves that no one else saw. I touched the sand in my backswing. And they apply that penalty to themselves. They're losing hundreds of thousands of dollars calling that penalty on themselves.
For the integrity of the game.
Absolutely. So I think at our level, you have the opposite of that. You have people looking to step the opposite direction of the integrity of the game for whatever reason. They need that trophy. They were in the lead and they can't give the lead up. Now, I've played probably no less than 40 rounds on our tour, and I've been offered favorable outcomes to terrible situations. I never take them. I've placed second 20 times and I've won 20 times. The 20 times I placed second, I have as much happiness in my heart as the times that I won, because I knew I gave it my best effort.
Right.
Now, if some kid didn't even have his best shit and beats me by a stroke because he had a sharper pencil or his ball didn't go in the water, good for him. Like, if that's what makes him happy,
right?
I don't care.
If that's what it takes to stroke his ego.
When I leave the golf course, I know that I left everything that I had out there, which is why sometimes I can be what they consider a fiery player. Like, I have emotion behind what I'm doing. A guy that doesn't have any emotion and always comes in just slightly ahead of his competition, what are you even doing it for? Like, I'm out there trying to beat myself, and then if me beating myself gets me ahead of the people in my flight or whatever, like, we're at nationals right now, right? The guy that won last year, I want to say he was 6 under over the course of whatever amount of days. Just 2 days, I guess. I keep forgetting that there's like a Friday skins game and then a Saturday Sunday championship. But so for the Saturday Sunday championship, we played the same course. It's on the ocean. Well, we're not staying far from it. And 45 mile an hour wind gusts. I come from upstate New York. I hit the ball really high. I'm not a great flighter of the golf ball. So when it's downwind, boy, oh boy, am I good. When it's into the wind, I don't ever have enough club. I could have a 200-yard par 3 that I have to hit a driver on. And on the very next hole, I can hit a 440-yard drive. So, it doesn't make any sense, but that's just the golf that I play. But so the guy that won last year, he bounces on and off of the Corn Ferry Tour. So now, This is just me speaking for me. If I bounce on and off of a professional golf tour and I have the opportunity to go whoop on some amateurs that come down to my hometown, I'm not taking the opportunity of that. That'd be like whatever sport you guys want to talk about. That's
like a heavyweight beating up on the lightweights.
Absolutely. Exactly. It'd be like Nolan Ryan going to pitch in Little League.
Fun?
Right.
Oh man, I had 27 strikeouts.
I pitched a perfect game with 27 strikeouts.
I only had to throw fucking 54
I only
pitches.
had one ball all game.
And that was because the kid was short.
Right.
But so like this guy comes and I guess he's won it like many years in a row. But so he goes and plays on the professional tour 3-4 times a year. He's going to make the cut one day. They're going to give him a card. He's going to make money at the sport. Why are you coming to take amateurs' money from them? To me, it doesn't make sense. It feels like a very shallow victory.
I agree.
Absolutely.
10%.
Absolutely.
So me, like, I got bumped back to A flight. It's been a tough year for me. I haven't played as much on tour as I wanted to. I don't have the events in. I don't have the scores in. But so I'm a A player, which is like, I'm a half a stroke from being back in champ flight or whatever. But if I went out there and kicked everyone's ass in A flight, it would still feel semi-shallow to me because I'm supposed to be playing with our tour director and a couple of other guys.
Right.
But I know guys that are in A flight that purposely miss 3-footers to stay in A flight.
Right.
That'll never be me. If I am last place in champ flight, I'm still trying my hardest.
Right.
I don't want to be first place in a flight where I have to not try. So when I was in 9th grade, I was doing calculus because that was hard. I didn't just do geometry because that's what it was asked of me.
Right.
So I like a challenge, and maybe that's not for everybody, but for me, I'm going to give it my all every time. Doesn't matter what we're talking about. I'm not a marathon runner, but if somebody was like, you want to go do this marathon tomorrow?
That's exactly why we did 130 on the way down here, because he did it his all. He gave it his all.
I gave it the car's all. I had more. The car did.
He wasn't going 130.
130. Jesus, it might have been like 107. Maybe it was 130. A couple times. Was I sleeping then?
Go back to sleep, bro.
Go back to sleep, bro. Holy shit.
He got up there a couple times.
Your girl even knows you. Yeah, she said, what did she say? She just close. What did you tell her? Just close your eyes, and you'll be home in no time. It's like no place. It's like Wizard of Oz. Just no place like home. No place like your home.
So I said to her, I said, I'm happy, but the guys in the car aren't. And she goes, I understand. And then she just said, close your eyes, you'll be home in no time.
Yep.
It's true.
All over in a minute. True.
I might take your offer up on the way home, buddy, if you're up for it.
He'll
always take fucking
the back seat.
Absolutely.
Oh, this guy, yeah.
Absolutely.
We can put
any chance to catch a snooze in.
This guy. I knew I picked up Tommy for a reason.
Do you sleep 20 out of the 24 hours of a day most of the time?
If I can. I have children now, so it's not usually capable. But
I gotcha.
But yeah.
So they come into the room and they hey dad,
right?
Yeah, wake me up.
So the wife takes care of the kids while he sleeps 18 hours.
Yeah, of course. Shout out wifey. All right, guys, it's a good time to go into a short intermission. We'll be back after this break with maybe some guys from Tor. I'll shoot some of the guys the link and see if we can get some of them on. But we'll be back right after the short intermission.
Adam.
Hey, Mikey, you know anybody does any roofing?
Actually, I do, Raj.
Who you got for me, man?
Dude named Tom Murphy did my boss's roof. Actually does hands-on work.
Gets right up there on the roof, huh? The owner of the company?
He does. Knows his shit, too.
That's awesome, man. Is this Thomas Paul Construction?
Yep, that's him.
Man, I heard nothing but good things about them. I'm actually on their Facebook page right now looking up some things. The pictures, the aerial view, they're really cool. He gets up there with the drone. You can see the before and afters of some of the work they've done. Go check them out on Facebook. They're a new sponsor here, the Upstate Golf Guys. So make sure you guys go support Thomas Paul Construction, roofing and siding. Thomas Paul Construction LLC is a full-service construction company who specializes in roofing and siding, covering the greater capital region. You can reach them at 518-308-6794. Once again, 518-308-6794. And make sure to go check out their Facebook page, see some pictures of what they've done in the past, and let them know the Upstate Golf Guys sent you.
We're back after that short intermission, and we have some big things going on, Mikey, don't we?
Well, there's a game going on right now.
There is a game going on right now. It
started during the intermission.
It is called the NLCS, and the hottest team in baseball is in it right now, baby. Oh, my God.
National Little Children's.
Right. And now we're going to deal with fucking loading issues.
That's all right. We'll get to it.
Guys, there's college golf on.
There's college golf? This guy wants to watch college golf over fucking the NLCS.
Golf.
Well, but
what planet are you from, dude?
The apes.
It's something about that orange hair. There's something with the follicles. Just do something.
This guy and his fucking beard. His beautiful beard. But let's get back to golf. Tom, we have Oyster Reef tomorrow, possibly Golden Bear in the afternoon. And then I'm playing Hampton Hall, which is off of the island a little bit. Do you know anything about Hampton Hall?
I sure do. We played it at like 7:00 at night last year in the Skins game, after the Skins game, with just the Upstate Golf Guys. And we did it as a 2 threesomes in a scramble format.
Okay.
It's a nice course, but I feel like all the courses that have Hall in their name, like they're all very similar. So I don't know if it's the same architect, but like Rose Hall in Jamaica, Hampton Hall, There's another hall that I played somewhere. It was in the halls of the high school. I don't something, but
you played Rose Hall in Jamaica though?
Yes,
because I stayed right on that golf course.
It's a beautiful course.
Mobway.
But it's
shout out Montego Bay, beautiful course.
You stayed on it?
Yeah, I stayed right
and
at.
You didn't play it?
I did not play it. I stayed at. You must have stayed at the same resort as me.
No, I traveled to it. I was in.
You know that was he was freshly married then.
In the grill.
Do you know the backstory of Rose Hall? Do you know the backstory of?
No, is it one of the famous musicians from down there?
No. Mikey, do me a favor. While you have the phone right there, type in Rose Hall, Jamaica. Basically, she was a slave owner, and it's very haunted. Actually, type in Rose Hall, Jamaica.
No wonder I had one of my best rounds there.
Yeah, no, and she owned a bunch of slaves, and she was she slept with them, so she slept with a lot of the slaves, and
made children.
She cheated on. Type in who Rose Hall actually is, though. The story behind her. We went and had dinner over.
At the mansion.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Hold on a second. All right, Mike, you brought it up for me. The story of the White Witch of Rose Hall. At the heart of the property in the historic Rose Hall Great House, a restored 18th century architectural masterpiece, home of the notorious White Witch of Rose Hall, Annie Palmer, known famously to have killed 3 husbands and taken on numerous slave lovers, only to die by the hands of one she loved the most.
God damn, that's ruthless, dude.
Yeah.
She was running shit back then.
Back then, she
just remember the next time you guys have a fight with your wife, she could have been doing that.
Right.
No joke.
Right. Just get them goddamn dishes done.
Now the story is that whole piece of land is haunted by her. And it's like we had dinner up at like this mansion that she supposedly
procreated in.
No, it's like an old building that she was part of. I forgot. Andrea and I, we went on our honeymoon over there at Hilton Rose Hall. It's a beautiful place, but the story is pretty wild behind it. But that's why I wanted you to actually look it up. It's pretty crazy.
Sounds very romantic. That's where I was thinking about going on my next honeymoon.
Tell me about that golf course when you played it over there.
It was beautiful. 7,100 yards from the tips.
How do you remember? Are you Rain Man?
I've gotten rained on.
He fucking remembers it. 7,100.
He thought it was rain.
So literally,
don't piss on my leg and call it rain. We're in the South. You can say that now.
I'm on the other side of the fence.
It's windy
it's
too.
Neighbor.
What the fuck? Tell me about the course.
Well, so when I played it, I always go like during hurricane season. I'm a poor fellow, so I go when they're giving the stuff away.
It's free to get on.
But I played with my ex-brother-in-law and my father. They only rented TaylorMade clubs. I'm not a TaylorMade guy. So I played an R9 driver, a Rocket Balls fairway metal, and then whatever these ugly-ass irons that TaylorMade was at the time, probably like some RBZ bullshit things. And they didn't have any extra stiff clubs. And they had a putter that looked like it was in the ocean, and they found it. And I shot 74.
Wow.
It was in great condition. In order to get on the course, you had to hire a caddy.
Yes, I knew that.
So I think it was like $150 for clubs, caddy, and greens fees. But so we leave the resort. We're staying in the grill, probably like a Secrets or something like that, because we do, Cheap Caribbean or allinclusive.com and find whatever, like, literally bargain basement shit. Like, there's nobody coming here this week. Just come to us and we'll like feed you. That's the kind of stuff that we do.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So we get down there. We go to Dunn's River Falls and do the falls thing a day. We rent a catamaran and go out to the ocean and do that for a day. And my sister enjoys some bud from time to time, and supposedly it's pretty good down there. And she had a connect at home that said, call this guy when you get down there. He came to our resort.
I have a homie down there too.
So we went
I got a guy.
Some like local nightclubs. Long and short, I get over to the golf course with my brother-in-law and my father. We all pay our money. My brother-in-law is a beer drinker. at this time I would drink beer. It's not my favorite thing, and Red Stripe's definitely not like the thing that I'm like, just fucking gung ho about or whatever. But so he goes to the little market, what would you guys call it in the city? Like what do they call those things?
Bodega.
Yeah, go to the bodega and he goes and gets a 6-pack and it's like $30, $5 a beer. So we go to the golf club, we tee off, we play the front side. These BS ham and cheese sandwiches that were made by the White Witch of the West or whatever you want. Like one piece of fried bologna with a piece of cheese or whatever.
Haunted cheese.
So that's included. But the cart girl's
cheese
like,
she churned herself.
You don't want no beers, man? And we're like, no, thanks. We're all set. So our caddies are laughing because, again, you're looking at a bunch of fucking poor white people playing a golf course where the people that are carrying our bags have more money than us.
They do too.
So my brother-in-law pounds that 6-pack before the 9th hole.
That's funny shit, dude.
Yo, keep going though. Legit.
So, he's gonna go inside at the turn and get some more beers.
Right.
And our caddy looks at him and goes, "How much money you have, my man?" And he's like, "They're fucking $30 for 6 of them." He goes, "Give me $30." So the guy takes his $30, comes out, has 2 cases on his shoulder with change. So I said, "Do you guys have tourist pricing down here? When we go into a store, they're like, oh, white man paid more." Bumbleclot.
Bumbleclot.
So now we're trying to get the caddies drunk because we can't drink all this beer. And we don't know what the rules are with the cabbie. The cabbie's probably got somebody that he's supposed to take us to a bodega to rob us, whatever. So we got these 48.
Sell your kidney on you.
We got these 48 beers on us, and my brother-in-law is just handing them out like candy on the golf course. Like, you get a red stripe. You get a red stripe. But think about that, right? Like, so if we ship Budweiser to Jamaica, it's got to cost more down there. So this red stripe stuff is made down there. It's like not far from Rose Hall, the Red Stripe Brewing is.
Yeah.
So Jamaicans can definitely not afford to pay $5 a beer for their home brew.
Right.
And I'm not,
of course,
not trying to be disrespectful. Just the money's different down there. So
Right.
they're not getting paid $12 an hour to do anything. So to spend a whole day's pay on a single beer, no one would drink, and then the industry would go under.
They know how to
So
get
they're
the tourist money.
laughing their asses off that my brother-in-law thought that the 6-pack cost $30. So this guy at the bodega must have retired right after he sold this. Went and bought his 3rd mansion this week.
Thank you, Bumbleclot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So then I'm talking to my sister when we get back to the hotel, and I was like, "Your husband's retarded." On top of him being retarded, he also has too much money. Because he was buying mansions for everybody. You get a mansion. He was like Oprah. But so I said,
white man on vacation, dude. We're very generous.
So I said,
we are, dude.
I
It's
said,
like,
what
you
was
want a drink?
Got more money.
Absolutely. Put it on my tab.
Well, here's the thing. At the all-inclusive, I bought everyone's drink.
Of course.
I was at the bar. I said, get everyone's first round on me.
He's about as white as they come, man. He's so white, he's ginger.
But so I asked my sister, I'm like, what's the difference in Bud? Like, you got to get a deal down here, right? Like, if a dime bag is $10 at home, it's got to be like 13 cents down here.
I'll tell you the deal I got. Wait,
and
keep going.
She's like, nah, man, I paid more, but it's like better weed or whatever. And I was like, I don't even know what that means.
It's different. It's
like,
not that it's better. It's different.
I drink vodka, and then vodka's pretty consistent across the nation.
Yeah.
Like the entire globe. You could go somewhere and get vodka.
All brands.
So can I tell my story of Jamaica when we first got there? My wife, I don't know
do.
if she's watching this right now on live or if she's going to listen, but she'll vouch for me with this one. So me, you know me at the time, 10 years ago, I'm a huge pothead. So when I'm looking into destinations, the first thing I'm looking into is where I could get weed easiest.
Yeah.
So I was told that Helen Keller could find weed at Jamaica, right? Like fucking
a blind woman on the beach swimming. with a nose plug.
Right. We'll be able to find fucking weed, no problem. So
the weed will find you.
Right. So I get to the airport. I get picked up, and Andrea was smoking cigarettes at the time still. Okay. And
naughty.
So she needed a lighter. And the guy goes, the Jamaican goes, yeah, we don't use lighters for those kind of cigarettes, man. So that's all I had to hear. That's I was like, oh, that's my eyes opened up. I was like, all right. I was like, I knew what he was talking about. I was like, so where's my ride to the
the other cigarettes?
Right, hook me up. So he said, so he hooked me up with a driver. The dude opened up I've never seen anything like it. So they had the steering wheel. Then inside the steering wheel must be like their glove compartment. So there's like a little compartment in the steering wheel.
There's a pharmacy.
And he handed me fucking two bricks. They were in aluminum foil though, so I couldn't really check it out. But like,
so what were they, like fifths?
No, were. He was calling them. He said that they were like pounds or something. But the way their pound is, it probably was a pound. But the reason why it was a pound, Mike, is the way they sell it.
They break it.
It was a whole fucking stalk. It was like, so he must have taken the stalk.
Do the whole
Wait, listen,
stem,
it was a stem literally fucking folded up 4 ways.
Looks like broccoli.
They sell.
It
looked like broccoli.
It was nothing
in
trim.
the Chinese takeout.
So, but it smelled like I was doing
MSG.
I was doing the smell test through the foil, and I'm like, they smelled really good, like through foil. I'm like, oh, I'm excited, dude. I'm excited. Back to the room. We haven't even been to the.
They got a cologne stuff that they spray on the
dirty socks.
So listen, this is my first. Again, we haven't even been to the resort yet, so it was like $50 for this fucking awesome like aluminum foil, whatever it was. I can't wait to get up into my room and fucking break into it just to look at it. So now we're doing the wait around to get in our room. Guys are bringing us fucking drinks.
I can see him right down in the waiting room getting.
No, not even not in the waiting room. We're in the lobby.
Right. That is the waiting room. Waiting room. The lobby, the waiting room. You're waiting to get up.
Wow, what just happened?
What a catch!
Did you just see that? What a catch! Amazing. That is going to go. I had to interrupt myself. That was pretty incredible. But that's gonna be a highlight reel right there. That's gonna be a highlight reel. But I had to interrupt on that one. Look at this shit. Wowzers.
Wow. I don't think it was more so the catch as more the avoidance of Marte.
Yeah, and getting injured. But
that was right in the nuts.
That was worth.
Oh, there you go. I love touching you in the private parts.
Yep,
yeah,
that was
dangerous.
That was worth the interruption, and that should hype up our Mets fans right there, even though they got to run, and that's okay.
Sorry for the interruption.
That was huge.
Totally off base.
So I have to tell you what happened. So now I'm in the lobby. They're bringing drinks, and this goes to where you are. I literally give this guy. I'm stupid. It should have only been $1, and I gave him a $5 tip for the drink.
Now he's following you all around.
The whole dude, his eyes.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. You need another drink.
His eyes lit up when I gave him a $5 bill.
Hey, sir. More drink?
All inclusive, right? And I
Just topped you off.
So, but all I could think about,
you want more drink?
All I could think about was getting in my room and looking at this fucking weed.
You want more drink?
I don't want the drink.
This guy would have broke it up and grinded it for you and rolled it.
So wait, so weed is still.
Sir,
so
you
wait,
want more drink?
This story gets good. I haven't even got into it yet. So now the weed is still technically illegal. Technically, from what I heard, but you're also in a country. You're in a country where it's very welcomed. They know that people travel to smoke their ganja. So I'm kind of like, I did a lot of my research.
Flag is a cannabis leaf.
Right. I did a lot of research on Jamaica before I went there, but you're still traveling to a foreign country, right?
Yes.
And my Cindy was in my ear. My mom, man, be careful. You're going. I'm not gonna get you. I'm not gonna get you out of jail from smoking weed in another country. Blah 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 blah. So what happens, dude? What happens? I get up to my room, right?
Cindy, if you're listening, I do not condone that impression of you. It was not a very good spot-on impression of you, Cindy. I think Anthony needs to be grounded.
All right, okay. So, anyways,
okay, carry on.
She was in my ear. But anyway, so I'm in my room. now finally breaking up this weed, which was really good weed. It was just different.
Did it have orange tails on it?
No, stuff? I had to do it. So, Mike, I had work to do, though, because when I opened it up, I was like, what the fuck is this thing? It was a big stem, but it was a nice big bud on the stem, and it was looking good, smelling great.
Right.
So I'm like sitting there just picking it apart, doing like what I have to do to it to like make it smokable.
They smoked the stem.
Whoa.
There.
All of a sudden, what the fuck?
Did you pull yourself out?
Yeah.
You don't need to impersonate.
All of a sudden.
Right. Oh,
police.
Okay. Holy shit.
Yo, dead ass. Wait, whoa. I'm in another country breaking up the weed on the table. Andrea's like
butt naked.
No, Andrea's like,
it's the dude that sold him the beer.
No,
you want another fill up?
No. Legitimately though, I swear to you, it was the security. And they were in it was like that this red suit on, different than anything else. I opened and they smelled it. And they really scared the shit out of me. And they were just like, but
you're infringing on my man space.
Sorry, buddy. But
did you ever watch the movie Cocktail before you unplugged the fucking remotes? Oh. Have you ever watched the movie Cocktail with Tom Cruise?
I have.
Yes.
And what's her name? She was pretty back then. But anyway, that was in Jamaica when he talks about wanting to create the umbrellas for the drinks and the doodads on the end of the shoelaces and stuff like that.
Does the flip with the bottle.
Yeah. He pretends like he knows how to bartend. Would you like a vodka drink? Watch this. I can use 38 bottles to make you a vodka drink. But so anyway, I only brought him up because they tried to scare the shit out of him when he was down there too.
Do you want to know if we got locked up though or no? Do you
I know you didn't get locked up.
No, they go, just so you know, there's no smoking in the rooms. That's a bad Jamaican accent.
Very bad.
But he was
sounded
just
more like
Tom, do the Jamaican accent. Tell
all they were reminding me. It ended up being so. A funny story is we were all paranoid. They were so cool and welcoming about the weed. Obviously, like we thought. They were like, there was like, oh yes, he's like, you could smoke it anywhere that you could smoke cigarettes, man. He goes, just don't do it in the. They were just literally all he was doing was reminding me that they smelled it.
They cut it up a lot with tobacco too, don't they?
They do, I think so,
but not when you buy a whole stalk.
No, because the stalk.
This guy could have brought the shit home and started growing it at his own strain.
But that's why they say like sell it in such that's why it's so cheap and it seems like it's such a big amount.
So
the weight is there because it's really not.
How long you been married, Anthony?
It's going on 10 years. Next year's gonna be our 10-year anniversary.
Awesome, congratulations.
Thank you.
So I was down there a little bit before you, and you guys discussed dabs of I think you call it wax. I'm not sure.
Yep.
Concentrate.
But so before that was popular in our country, they called it tar in Jamaica.
Yep.
And they would sell tar. And the tar was like 400,000 times more potent. And my sister, who's just a plant smoker predominantly, I never had tar. We went out to the Jamaican nightclubs with the Jamaican, the hookup down there, or the connect, or whatever, the plug, whatever the name is now, whatever the kids are calling them these days. We go to the real nightclubs, like not the ones that tourists go to. We're going to, it's dark early there.
Right.
And I'm with my sister, who just got fresh braids on the beach. She's a white girl with blue eyes, big fat ass, a target, if you will. And so we go to the nightclub, and all the Jamaicans, the locals, who are looking at her or looking at me like I'm the thing that's stopping them from getting whatever they're going after or whatever. So a couple of guys would come up to me and be like, I'll fuck you up for that wife of yours. I was like, well, it's my sister, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, that's your sister? Yeah, it's my sister. You want me to introduce you? You'd introduce me. What the fuck do I care? Like, she knows how to say no. That's what you don't want. Like, you don't want her to say no and then you to go that next step. But like prior to that, it's all fair game, brother. So buying Hennessy for these guys, because Hennessy down there costs about 8 cents. Got bottle service all over these Jamaican nightclubs. My sister's got more Jamaican telephone numbers in her phone than she still gets text messages from. She don't know who the hell they are. And I'll answer them once in a while just for fun. I'll be like, yeah, I set up a tea time at Rose Hall tomorrow. Like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll be down. And I got foursomes going for days down there. I haven't played in a while, but these people are showing
These guys
up.
think your sister loves golf.
Jamaica's another world, man. I miss it. Was fun down there, but I don't know if I don't know. It's wild. You're right.
I heard it's dangerous if you go outside of
the resorts. Not really.
Resorts
it's not.
and stuff.
It could be.
It depends on where you go, right? So, like, we're in Hilton Head, okay?
It's kind of like down in Brooklyn or in the Bronx where you go down the wrong street and you.
Any big city that you go to, there's a street you don't want to go down, and a street they tell you don't want to go down. But, like, everybody says don't go to Chinatown after dark.
Right.
But I go to Chinatown, buy a purse right now. And, like, it doesn't bother me at all. You know what I mean? Will I take that purse and then
you're
go
fucking
down?
special ops, dude. That don't count, bro.
Well, here's the thing. So that's what I'm saying. So we're on Hilton Head Island right now. Me, you, and Anthony can leave right now and walk to a bar, literally almost like on the property of the condo complex that we're on. If we end up a block from that, it could be bad news bears.
Right.
It could be a bunch of people that are up to no good, started making trouble in my neighborhood. Got one little fight. My mom got scared. But so, like, that's what people don't ever understand. Think about your hometown. I'm going to call Albany your hometown. But so you, or as the comedian told me, you call it skin, neck, titty. Schenectady.
Yeah.
So Rivers Casino is built in the worst part of Schenectady. In the worst part.
Yeah.
They did too. They put it right in the armpit.
Right.
You know why they did that though? Because they want the river access.
Absolutely. But so think about that. There was a old school that was sold about a half a block from Rivers. They turned it into these high-priced condos. So they made 18 condos out of one school. No. They bought the school for $40,000. They probably put $1 million into it. Each condo sold for $775,000. Cha-ching. You can't park your Porsche and leave your condo and walk to the casino because you'll get robbed.
Yep.
But you just sold condos for $775,000.
That's how it is down here.
Yeah.
Right around all the city field is all the chop shops, the ghettos, the garages,
right. So they put money into a city to get people to invest in the city, and then they get people to invest in the city that aren't from that city. So, like, you grow up upstate and you're a Mets fan, and then you find out that you can get a condo next to Citi Field for $400,000. You're like, A, it's in the city. B, it's right next to the Mets. C, my HOA covers season tickets to the Mets. Then you go to your condo after you buy it, and you're like,
Tommy, let me borrow some money, bro. You just told me. And then you charged me 20%
in 10 months.
Right.
It's a quick turnaround. But think about that. So now you buy this condo that you've never seen except for on the internet. You feel like you got a steal on it. They show you all the amenities that are in the neighborhood, but they don't tell you can't get to them from your condo safely. So you drive to your condo and then you live in your condo until you leave your condo.
Yeah.
Or you hire an armed security guard and take you to Citi Field half a block away.
Yeah.
So this is what they're doing with Zillow and what do they call those virtual tours? And it's like when we were walking on the beach earlier and you said they made Anthony think where we were staying had that view. You were like, they make it all look like this is the view.
Right.
When you're 1,000 miles away, how can you prove that?
Right.
So then you have to deep dive on it, and you would have to do research and say, all right, I'm in apartment 20J. It's on the 68th floor of a 15th floor walk up.
Actual Google Maps it yourself. And
right.
Then you find out that you have to walk up 1,500 steps to get to your room, and you can't have luggage. There's all kinds of rules. There's a woman at the front gate that says
that we can't park here.
Excuse me.
There's no elevators.
Your name is not found in the system.
And then your steps from the beach. It doesn't say how many steps. You're always steps from the beach. I live in Lake Katrina. I'm only steps from the beach too. It's 13,611 of them, but I'm only steps from
a lot
the beach.
of them.
Yeah. So,
well, we didn't say how many, sir.
Right. It's creative marketing.
It is. But with that said, guys, this has been an awesome podcast, and I'm watching this Mets game. I think Mikey is No, I think Mikey is thinking the same thing I am, and we should wrap this thing up because we got a game to watch. What do you think, brother?
All right. The only thing that I want to say is, if you watch this podcast, you're only a couple of clicks away from the lottery.
Right.
So
he's really wearing pants. It just looks like he's not in the podcast. See, look at. It looks like he's not nudie. We're not.
Yes,
this ain't a ditty party.
They're what do they call them?
Salmon
shorts.
The salmon is slamming.
He's wearing. But we're gonna be
Tommy skin tone.
We'll be back with another recording this week. We have a tea time to get up for in the morning and get a big practice round in for a big week of golf that it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it, Mikey. So, all right, brother, it's been a long day. Let's wrap things up here.
Let's go Mets. 518.
Let's go Mets. All right, appreciate you all for tuning in again.
Peace.
Find your perfect putter and join the Lombardi family. Whether you have lead hands, the face on the TC PL22 takes the speed off the ball at impact. Or are you the type that leave putt short? You can try the PC308. It has the weight you need to make it to the hole. You will find that Lombardi has something special for everyone's particular putting stroke. The 1985 is not only the most affordable club, but is the most beautiful. With a sharp red zinc alloy head and a steepless shaft. The Nassau 66 is one of the best-selling mallets on the market. It has a clean straight line finish to help guide your eye through the ball, straight to the target line. The head with a clean black mallet finish and a 60-gram mate shaft and a Lombardi 3.0 crown grip. You want a custom logo? Lee over at Wedge FX has you covered. But if you want to spend a little more money and make some magic happen, try out the new Diamond Mallet Putter. It's an absolute gem. This is a one-of-a-kind design and is available in the Lombardi Custom Shop. This head is made from a futuristic, top-secret metal. It has the center shaft which prevents pushes and pulls, and it is by far the most forgiving putter in the Lombardi Custom family. Head over to lombardigolf.com and use Upstate at checkout for a hefty discount, or reach out to the Upstate Golf Guys as we are local representatives for Lombardi Golf.